Hey, we're going live in three, two, one. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host for the Chi-Cast, Marcus Julian Combo, the most epic voice in Tai Chi. Welcome
And
to
they say
another.
we're
There
going
it is.
live.
Welcome to another edition of the Chi-Cast as we go through our ranks of amazing, astounding, fabulous, without compare, Tai Chi Fit, Tai Chi for veterans, instructors that are helping to create the networks and classes and venues for our nation's veterans to take Tai Chi, as well as opening up the communities around you in order to make your world a little more balanced. That's right. Today, we've got, honestly, some really, really special guests who I have had the pleasure of not just working with, but learning from and uh, just being in their presence and having the opportunity to get to know them has been an amazing journey, absolutely amazing journey, and especially when it comes to the skill, devotion, and love for Tai Chi. Our guests today are without compare, right? So we have a really special show. Now, I have to be honest with you. So yesterday, about after I got done training, I came home and I had a fever, and I spent most of the day in various states of unrest. We'll say. Now, I was never fully on sort of sick and sort of dying by any means, but there was definitely fatigue, the chills. I was wearing, February's pajamas in late May because of the chills. It definitely had a hard time sort of pulling things together and just operating overall. Like the aches and pains that I already had were more achy and more painy, as it were. So if I seem a little toned down today, that's why. Uh, there's a lot going on. Sort of that sense of unease that's a little stronger than what happens when um, I get like a cold or something like that. And I'll be honest, as far as the ability to kick off any kind of illness, since I've been doing Tai Chi pretty much full time, I have always been amazed about how strong my immune system has gotten in that amount of time. And the healthier that I've gotten, the more I'm able to shake off various bugs. And it's important to note that with and I just want to make sure all my stuff is on. I went live, and I was very excited, obviously, to talk with you guys. So I kind of just jumped on. But anyway, I've been amazed at how strong my immune system has become since doing Tai Chi full time and all of the things, all the varying things that I've done in addition to that. But this really was, I remember prior to really taking Tai Chi on and changing life, I was way overweight. I was I was lethargic. Everything hurt. Everything was bad. And I say that, and everything hurts now. Don't get me wrong, but I know why it hurts, and it hurts now um, because I work hard, right? Like, and that's okay. It's okay when you can point to something and say, "Oh, I'm sore," um, and it's because I did 200 push-ups yesterday. That's one thing. It's a whole nother thing to be like, "Oh, I'm sore," and all I did was sit on the couch yesterday. And I'm not saying that's it. Or maybe you just walked a little further than you normally did, or maybe you were sitting up in an uncomfortable position longer than you normally would, and you feel fatigue. You feel that hit, right? You feel the drain and the soreness and the inflammation. and you can't really put your finger on it. It's just an overall sort of sense of unease, this all the time, right? And yeah, so I'm not saying it's COVID. Probably not. Probably a combination of stress, of the weather yesterday, and I have been stressed, just like a lot of us have under the current circumstances, under the current quarantine, and it's important. Listen, this is what I want to say, and I want to give a lot of thanks to the people that reached out both yesterday and this morning to check on me to make sure I was okay. Uh, that is what we need. That is the sign, the signal of a world coming together in crisis, a world showing that it cares about its inhabitants. That really is. And so I want to give a shout out to all of you that checked in on me over the last 24 hours, because I know I'm all over the place, but again, not at my best this morning. If my best is ever a thing. So here we go. I've got a fresh cup of tea, and I've got my Tai Chi Evolution on my chest. So not on the cup today, actually on the chest. So if you're watching through YouTube, you can check out my fancy dancy schmancy wardrobe. But if you're just listening, like you're driving, but it's feeding in the back, don't look at it. Keep your eyes on the road. All right, we're going to update all of our websites right now as we're talking. So remember, you can see or at least get the links to your ChiCast, your Tai Chi Fit International ChiCast, through Tai Chi with Veterans, Tai Chi with International, Tai Chi International, Tai Chi with Marcus, and a couple of other places that that will be posting it. So keep that close to you. And if you haven't subscribed to those things, absolutely do. Now, as we roll our instructors out over the course of the next 2 weeks, or 2.5 weeks actually, that's going to be an opportunity, a real opportunity to meet the faces and the personalities that have devoted so much of their lives to Tai Chi, to veteran awareness, to the health and well-being of their community. And that's important. That's absolutely important. And so I often say that when I started working in Tai Chi, I started to meet some of the best people I think I've ever met. Great people, loving people, caring people who really just rallied around each other, and it's hard to say, just became family very quickly. And that's something that you will find a lot in the Tai Chi community, but even more so in the Tai Chi Fit community. The Tai Chi Fit community is a wonderful, not just introduction, but journey through the world of Tai Chi that can last you a lifetime. You know, David Dorian Ross and the brains and the amount of experience and the years of devotion and dedication to his craft has produced something, quite frankly, amazing. So if you want to get a deeper understanding of Tai Chi and join a community that spans beyond borders, that spans beyond language and tribe and politics and all that. If you want to join something that's special, head over to taijifit.net. Right, we've got the Flow subscription there that is fantastic. You get access to the entire library of Taiji Fit with David Dorian Ross, plus special access to webinars and trainings that he has every month, including flow shows with him. You'll also get to do flow shows with some of the instructors we are meeting now, flow shows with me. And it's a really cool opportunity. So head over to taijifit.net and click on the subscription link and become a member. yeah, become a member. Hang out with us. Hang out with me. Hang out with DDR. And yeah, we'd love to have you there. All right. And there's also, of course, if you go to taijifit.net, you can check out the Tai Chi for Veterans program and decide, well, maybe you want to help out the veterans as well while learning a skill that enriches your life. And right now, we just kicked off a subscription service that makes it affordable and easy for anybody to jump in. Normally, the tuition was this big lump sum and there were annual renewals and all this kind of thing. And we chucked it all out the window, created a subscription model so that it's a nice low monthly payment with graduating benefits on the tiers. And you can have as much access as you need or as little access as you want to the network of Tai Chi Fit. And hey, listen, we would love to see you there. You get to hang out with me a whole bunch and have a lot of fun. Right? That's what it really is. Even though today I'm kind of got a drag on my feet here. So I really do implore upon you to take your practice just a little deeper. And if you don't know if Tai Chi is for you, that's okay too. Go check it out. We've got plenty of trial periods there for you to decide whether or not the Tai Chi Fit family and community is right for you. So do that. Cute. All right. So I'm updating all of our social media here at Facebook, at Twitter, at Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/Tai Chi with Marcus. If you want to get into some behind the scenes stuff for our patrons there, as well as Tai Chi Fit International. I love you guys over there, and I am looking forward to talking with all of you over the course of the next several years. Hey, whatever. Listen, let's do this thing. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, we're popping up here. So this is a shout out to the Tai Chi Fit International community. There is your Chi Cast, nice and live. And we have just one more place to post. And again, that is at Patreon/Tai Chi with Marcus. And you can go there and get some really fun, really insightful videos and trainings with me personally. Yeah. Join the Tai Chi Fit family. That's the key. That's what we're pitching here today, because I need a day off. Oh my god, I am so tired. So yeah. Sorry, I'm laughing at myself. It is man, it has been a tiring day. And it's just getting started. But that's how I know. That I'm not feeling great, and I need to take it easy. So I'm going to try and do that. I'm probably going to fail miserably, but that's okay. That's okay as well. All right. So as we prepare for our first guest to pop up, I am going to. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to finish posting. That's what I'm going to do. So over there on Patreon, the Cheatcast is live. So go get your links and check us out. Join us in the links attached. There we go. That'll work. Okie dokie. What a day. What a day it's been. Morning. So this morning was a little different than my normal mornings. Well, different than the morning that I started the other day, where I was dancing, hopping and bopping and doing my thing with my old school jams. Last night I debuted the story that I wrote inspired by said slow jams, and it's a naughty story. It's a very naughty story, short story. It's about 600, maybe 700 words, and it is it's saucy. It's very saucy. But I tried to do it in a way that was also beautiful. That was literary. That was important to me to sort of nail down and to make what is often carnalized and what's the word I'm looking for? It often made crass, right? Yeah, I wanted to make it beautiful. I wanted to make it pleasing to the eyes, bring that imagery alive, be really like right in the point of view of the character itself as things are going down. And it it seemed to have worked. It seemed to have worked quite well. So I will keep you all posted. I'm going to go and I'm going to shop it out and try and publish it because, yeah, I mean, it happened quickly, but it happened well. Which is different from writing a novel, which takes forever. So it was, at least from a personal standpoint, very nice to be able to create something that is just complete. It's just done and it's ready to go, and it shows that I can still, put a whole narrative together and all that kind of good thing. So I was very pleased, very happy with what went down or what was created. And it's important in your journey to think on feeling, right? To think on feeling. And what do I mean by that? Um, when it comes to feeling, when it comes to living, you live off of feeling. Now, if you are a Tai Chi player, if you are a member of Tai Chi Fit, if you've played around in the world of mindfulness, you know that the world as you exist is a world of feelings. Now, we like to say that it's an intellectual endeavor, that we, in many ways, think our way through life. That's just not the case. We actually feel our way through life. No matter how intellectual you are, no matter how smart or how much information you have on any given subject or on any given topic, when it comes to making a decision, when it comes to deciding whether or not to do something, ultimately it's going to rest on a feeling. Does this feel right? Does this feel wrong? And I know we talked about that some in the past, but I want you to sort of drive this idea home as our first guest arrived. I was just talking about feelings, and I was like, I'm a force. And here comes Margaret right here. So good morning, Margaret. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry,
How?
I'm a little bit late.
We are never late in Tai Chi. Ever, ever, ever. We arrive exactly when we desire to arrive.
Well, I was doing that little time, the time difference from Central to East Coast, and I suddenly went, oh! But I was connected to you by the Chi Highway, Marcus, because I heard you. I went, oh.
Well, that makes me happy that my chi got out there on the highway for you. And I told you,
I
hey,
caught it.
take the next entrance, take the next exit.
Yeah, exactly. I did in a hurry.
So, how are you this morning? How are you?
Great. I'm great to be here, Marcus. We should stop meeting like this.
Oh, I wouldn't have it any other way, Margaret. Any other way. Maybe at a Starbucks. We should sit down and have tea or coffee one of these days. When you find yourself on the East Coast, or I find myself definitely on the wrong highway if I'm in Wisconsin. I can't think of any legitimate reason I should be there.
Oh, it's just me, Marcus. I'm the legitimate reason that you
That
would
is
come.
absolutely right. That is absolutely right. It is worth traveling, what, probably 1,000, 1,500 miles uh, to take your class in person. Yeah, I highly
Yeah.
recommend that. For all you people in Seattle, fill up your cars because it's time to go play with Margaret because she has I think, don't tell DDR I said this, probably the best show out there.
Oh, Marcus, thank you so much. I just love it. You know, when you love what you're doing, it's where you're supposed to be.
That's exactly right. You know, it's funny. I kicked off the Gcast today talking about feeling and how go with what feels right, not what you think is right and not what you think is wrong, but go with what feels right. So talk a little bit about that. Like you just said, oh, go with what feels, what you love with your passion. So how did you know that Tai Chi and Tai Chi Fit was right for you?
I I feel blessed that I'm connected with my body and always have been connected with feelings, whether it be a gut feel or a heart feel, or whether it be, you know, the hair on your arms standing up on end. Any of these feelings are how the body connects with you, how it communicates with you. Even today, when I was playing around with Tai Chi, I suddenly had something's not right. It wasn't mental, it was a physical feeling in my gut. And that's when I suddenly realized it's time for me to join Marcus. So I think that people are very disconnected with their body. They're all up in their head. They think they are their mind, and that's who they are, and that's a piece of who they are, but it's not the whole picture. So that's why I think Tai Chi is incredible, because it brings people into their body. They have to drop into their body and even just think about how their hands moving, think about where their foot is going to go. They are forced to actually think about the body rather than the future or the past.
Mm.
When you drop into that moment, which is the now, you suddenly connect with those little feelings, like that feeling that you're the inside your tummy, where what it may be butterflies, or the feeling in the shoulder. It's a tension. You go, oh, I didn't know my shoulder was tense. So, you know, this is what Tai Chi does for you. And that's why I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's funny when you're in class, and I'm sure you do this, where you tell your students, "All right, you're going to feel this thing," and I mean that. You're actually going to feel it, not in some sort of ethereal world, but no, you'll feel gravity on your body. You'll feel your body feel stronger and centered and more grounded as you go through. So what are the top 10 tips from Tai Chi's greatest instructor, Margaret Reeves, on how to get in touch with your feelings, both in
Okay.
Tai Chi and in life?
Well, top 10, Marcus, you promised me no math. You know, I don't do math. I don't do math very
Oh, you
well.
thought
You
this
won't
was going to
be,
be an
oh,
easy interview.
but here's number one. And we all know what number one is. And that's just to breathe. It is the simplest thing that we do every day. But you know what? Nobody ever thinks about it, pays attention to it, listens to it, sees it, see if your breath is shallow. Is it long and deep? We just take it for granted. So we never actually focus on it. So number one, I would say, would be focusing on how you're breathing, and just that, just the breath. And then number two, I like to ground. I think that when you feel the ground and you let go the weight and feel it drop into the floor, just through by feeling a big toe or a heel, and see how heavy you are on that floor, and try and be even heavier. So they're my top two things. And the rest would be whatever you move and however you flow in your body, love the feeling. Love what arises and be the observer of what arises, not being the judger of what arises. Like if you have that muscle that's tight in your shoulder, you can go, I didn't know that was tight. Interesting. Rather than, oh God, I'm so tense.
Thereby getting even more tense as you try to relax.
You treat your experience as it is a movie. So you're watching it on a screen. So treat your body and the way you're moving as just your own personal movie, and just watch and observe. And that's all. Very simple, right?
Oh, yeah. So simple. So simple. Anybody can do it.
Yes, if it was that easy, we'd all be perfect, wouldn't we?
That's right. There'd be no reason for this little journey through our mortal coil if we were all perfect that way. What else would we learn? So you bring up something that I think comes up a lot when it comes to Tai Chi, when mindfulness, and it's the idea of being the observer of life, not being wrapped up in the moment, but enjoying it through an audience sort of perspective. I know like Alan Watts talks about that a lot, as well as like Krishnamurti and some of the great thinkers. What does that mean to you? How, because a lot of times, a lot of the questions I get is, well, if I'm supposed to be detached, doesn't that come off as cold? And I find that not to be the case, but I would love to hear your side of that.
Okay, so if you're just observing your body as a movie, then you are still feeling. So if you have a feeling in your body, hence that tight shoulder, you can observe it. You don't have to react to it. So you can say, my shoulder feels tense and painful, right? And feel the pain, because we are human. We are here to feel. So the best thing we can do is to feel it and not push it away. So feel through the pain, but don't intellectualize the pain. And by that, I mean, or react to the pain. And by that, I mean, you're taking judgment. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have lifted that weight yesterday. I was too heavy. I'm such an idiot. So there's a difference between knowing what's happening in your body, getting a feeling or an emotion, and being an observer of that emotional pain, whether it be heartbreak or tension, or reacting to it and judging it by saying, oh. So that's just two different things. It's just one and then the other. And to get to no judgment is, I would say, would be breath. People always say, just breathe and take 10 breaths. You know, we all heard, as parents, we've all heard about that. Breathe 10 times before you respond.
Yeah.
So that gives you, that little gap gives you the time not to do that reaction.
Right.
You can still feel anger, frustration, and pain, because we're human, and feelings are one of the best things that we're here to experience. But the reaction into negativity may be throwing smashing a glass, punching a wall. That's what we're trying to avoid, the reaction. We're not avoiding the pain of heartbreak or, you know, a tension. But we're not avoiding, we're feeling it to the fullest, but not reacting or judging.
Wow.
Easy, right?
Easy peasy. That, I'll have that done by noon. It'll be fine. Put it right on my to-do list right after laundry. Ooh, that reminds me, I have laundry in the washing machine. Hold things down. I'll be right back. No, I'm just joking.
See, I honestly feel that people think detachment means that they shouldn't feel. And I think that is one of our society's biggest problems right now, is the lack of feeling our emotions. And over time, if we push down and don't feel the emotions, we get depression. And you know, that's one of the biggest problems in today's society, because we're not taught to feel the emotion. We feel it, react, and we're taught to stop that and shove that down.
That's
So
very true.
doing that over many years creates imbalance, a chemical imbalance, because we are feeling beings and we need to be taught how to feel. And bringing that back to Tai Chi teaches you to get back into your body, out of your mind, and start feeling all those things that the body's telling you. I mean, it talks to you all day, right? It is very wise. It's self-healing, has a lot of wisdom. It even knows what you like and don't like if you listen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So tell us then, because I think the whole world now wants to know, what's the greatest thing you've felt when you've done Tai Chi at any point in time?
Oh, okay. So what I love most is to get into the zone or the flow state. And I think any great sportsman knows when you get into that state of flow, you don't know how you got there or how you did it, but just enjoy it. So you get into this state that I feel that my body is now gone. You now become atoms. You feel the atoms. You get into the body where you feel each atom, and then that does not become separate from the atoms outside of your body.
Ah,
So you
yes.
start becoming just this being without a body, and you just float around like you would imagine a ballet dancer. You know, you're watching beautiful ballet. Well, that's how you can feel. And, you know, we can even get that in Tai Chi without using any edibles or DMT or peyote, ayahuasca, mushrooms. It goes on. So for
Good
those of
night,
you,
everybody.
this is free.
Yes.
You can do this in your own home, all by yourself, totally free.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. You had mentioned a little bit earlier about the biochemistry of the body and the effects that you actually, the control that you have over that in sort of experiencing your emotions and instead of reacting, taking that moment of pause and making a decision versus a reaction. And then being in that flow state, which that the runner's high, right? That's what we're talking about here.
Mm.
uh, Being in that flow state and really releasing the dopamine and serotonin that DMT or ayahuasca or other external chemical components will release in the body. But to do so naturally, not looking for external forces, but cultivating it within. So, as you walk through life, how does Tai Chi, do you find yourself being able to utilize your practice to cultivate other emotions throughout the day?
It's funny that you mentioned that because Tai Chi is not something you do and you practice Tai Chi for an hour and then you go out in the world and you turn into, you don't observe yourself or you go back into your head. What am I doing tomorrow? What's next day? So when you practice Tai Chi, I think Tai Chi, you take that into your life. And the first time I realized I had been doing that was I was in a biking group with a lot of other girls, and I was just biking up the hill, just flowing up the hill, and somebody beside me is grinding up the hill, like pounding and working so hard. And she looks at me and she says, Margaret, what are you doing? Are you Tai Chi bike riding? And I said, I think I am. And it was such an aha moment that I realized that I needed to take the Tai Chi flow state into every part of my life. So then I took it to the tennis court, which is amazing because the only way to get into that best game that your body can provide you is to let go.
Yeah.
Let go of this and just breathe. And you know what? I realized that my body knew how to do it. I was just getting in the way. My thoughts were getting in the way. So I had to let go of my thoughts. My body was trained. I knew how to hit a ball, but I had to stop thinking. And then after you do an amazing point and you go, I don't know how I did that. Don't worry about it. Just do it again. Just get rid of the mind and just keep doing it.
The old Wu Wei, the action without doing, or the doing without action, depending on how you want.
Yeah. And you know what? I think if you trust your body, and sometimes if you think that your body is not you, you know, this is a vehicle you've been given, it would be really lovely for you to just say, hey, body, I trust you. You know how to play this game. You know how to hit that ball. All I have to do is watch the ball. So you, body, know where that ball is. And that's all I'm there to do. And then the body will take care of the rest for you.
Yeah. That is a phenomenal lesson. That is a phenomenal lesson. I mean, that is the lesson of, you know, pro athletes and musical composers and you know, think of that 10,000 hours. Once you've gotten so much behind you, it's just instinctual at that point. It's funny you mentioned the bike ride, because there's this hill around here that I hit when I ride, and normally it's this grueling, because it's on the way back, so I'm already sort of worn out. And I get to that hill and I'm like, oh God, here we go. And I'm fiddling with the gears and trying to get up there. And then the other day I was just out to enjoy it. And I got up the hill no problem. I wasn't thinking about it at all. It was just, oh, here we go. And we're at the top. And my time, though it felt like I was going very leisurely in this pace, my pace was somewhere in the realm of 13 to 14 miles an hour on average, which is way faster. Normally, when I'm huffing it, I'm like 12 or 11 miles an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but over the course of an hour, that's a lot of distance traveled. So you're absolutely right about that. How do we achieve that instinctually, though, Margaret? That's what your listeners want to know.
Well, I can only just keep going back to the breath, and every top athlete does, every meditator, every musician, every person that's ever had a moment of genius. It is all about quietness and stillness and breath, because you are then, once your mind is empty, which is really funny, you've got to actually empty it out for all the good things to pop in.
I love that.
So
I love
if you're still, and you know, if you can't be still, you just have to breathe. So you just take that whole breath to slow it down, and then pop. You go, oh, good idea.
Uh-huh.
But you can't have those beautiful, popping, brilliant ideas with your heads churning out too much vibration of this, that, and the other. You know, the monkey mind. We talk in Tai Chi about the monkey mind. If the monkey mind is busy, you're not giving it any space. You could say that you need a new hard drive because it's full. So if you can delete a lot of that stuff, I love the computer analogy. If you can just delete the stuff you don't need in the moment, in that moment, then you can free up space for great ideas to flow to you, because they're there, but you're just too busy. I mean, even Einstein knew it. All the greats knew it. He used to lock himself in his bathroom, fill up the bathtub. He had all these people coming, you know, to see him. No, he was closed off in the bathroom because he was doing that chill out, allowing his mind to be available for the good ideas that are already out there in the ether or in the chi highway.
That you're absolutely right. You got to download from the universe. That is the key. All the answers are out there.
Exactly. But if you, no downloading can exist in a busy mind.
That is correct. You got to move the furniture out to move the new furniture in.
Yeah, I love that. Empty the furniture out of your head. Spring clean.
This has been wonderful, Margaret. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, very simple. Margaret Reeves Tai Chi. Across every platform, Facebook page, Margaret Reeves Tai Chi, website, margaretreevestaichi.com, Instagram, Margaret Reeves Tai Chi, and YouTube, Margaret Reeves. You can see me across all platforms. LinkedIn, if it's there, I'm there.
That's right. You got to lock those things down very early on. That is good stuff. I adore talking to you, Margaret. We have to do this again. Tell me you'll come back to the Chi-Cast and hang out with me.
I would love to hang out with you, Marcus. It's always fun to talk with a kindred spirit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wish you all the best the rest of the day and beyond. And you guys will be able to see Margaret in all of her glory in the upcoming online classes that we have for our veterans soon. So watch out for those announcements, which will be awesome, which I'm sure she'll put out on all of her social media in the future. Thank you, Margaret. Have a great one. Be good to yourself.
You too, Marcus. Love you. Bye-bye.
That was Margaret Reeves, one of our premier, maybe even better than me, definitely better than me, instructors in Tai Chi Fit, a part of our veterans program. In fact, she's going to be standing in for me tomorrow morning at Friday. Oh, Friday, that'll be May 22nd. She'll be standing in for me in my class. So my vets will get a chance to hang out with one of Tai Chi Fit's best and greatest, which is absolutely awesome. And this, in a normal radio broadcast, would be the moment we take a commercial break. But since we don't have those on the live stream, I am going to simply take a drink and put it down and get ready for our next guest, who actually sent me her information this morning because Tai Chi people are slackers like me. There's no judgment there, just an observation. And it's so funny, I think that number one, that she was on the same wavelength that we were, and there's something to that. There really is. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but it's like mathematics. Did we invent it, or did we discover it? Was it a download from the universe? The universe works a certain way, and we're discovering it, and we refine our tools in order to discover it. Now, the mathematicians, the scientists, the engineers, they are looking in every crevice and corner for the numbers and digits and the equations to come up with the formulae that can enrich our lives and make the way that we live and see the universe better. And we need that. But you can download a little piece of that yourself by becoming more in tuned with your feelings. In the Tao Te Ching, it talks about if you want to understand the universe, first understand yourself. All the secrets of the universe exist within you. Within you. How do we know? Well, biologically speaking, you are related to every other entity that has lived, is living, or will live using the DNA structure that we have on this planet. You're related to all of them biologically. All of the chemicals, the amino acids, the oxygen, and all that, the water that is on the planet that composes you chemically, well, that all came from Earth. We everything walking, everything created, everything from the wall to this shirt to my skin was all chemically created right here on the planet. And then atomically, the molecules, the atoms that are created inside all of you, all of that was forged in the hearts of sons. And with that forging in the hearts of sons, we have the creation, the expansion of one Maureen Vuzak sliding in here on the second half of our Chi-Cast, who's actually, she doesn't know it, she's not looking, but she's muted right now. Good morning, Maureen. How are you?
Man, you were on a roll. I didn't want to interfere with that. Tell us more.
Yeah. That's why you're not supposed to listen to the stream live. You're just supposed to pop in. breaking it like the Kool-Aid man, you know?
And the milk
How
man.
are you this morning?
I'm doing great. We got cloudy days here.
Really?
Are
It's
you living
nice
with the
and
clouds
sunny.
too?
No, we've got nice and sunny. It's pretty much what you see here is what's going on out there.
Nice and
Freezing
sunny,
cold.
huh? All right,
Yeah,
Marcus.
nice and sunny. It's always sunny in
Already know.
Philadelphia. Except beginning of the week. It was just cloudy and windy and it was nutty. Couldn't even put out the trash because it was just everywhere. So you're
Same.
down in the DC-ish metro area, right?
Yes. The
Yeah, keeping an
outskirts.
eye. I hear that neighborhood's a little wonky these days.
Yeah, DC. Yeah.
Yeah, some new guests have moved in the last couple of years.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get that. It's very interesting to see the character. You go to a restaurant one year and it's completely different from, 2 years later or 2 years before, and
Ooh.
find the good spots and, corral together.
How do you balance that? That's an interesting thing that doesn't happen in most places. How do you
You know,
balance that?
I moved to Tampa. I lived in Tampa for a couple of years when I was going to school, and we lived in Charlottesville too when my husband was UVA. And I had to get back to DC because just in other parts of the country, I'm just so used to that political aspect of things. We're the politics really infiltrates everything we do. It's part of every discussion almost. It's actually gotten less so, ironically, because now we're all talking quarantine, and
Yeah.
they kind of, well, it's an interesting balance, but I had to get back to that sense of what happens here affects everywhere. It I don't know, people just go about their lives in other parts of the country. I'm like, wait a minute, there's other stuff going on. But that's what's interesting about Tai Chi is you just, that goes away. Really, it's just about where you are in the present moment and what you're doing, and what's important to you. It kind of envelops you, uh, and you can take it anywhere, no matter where you are and where you go. So I love that about Tai Chi. And it's interesting because I started Tai Chi when I was away. And then when I came back, I found it here. And it's been an interesting buffer, to kind of help process and deal with all the stuff that's going on. So
Ooh. So with all of your travels, where's the most interesting place you've done Tai Chi?
interesting or fun? Hawaii was great.
That's an easy one.
Well, last year we had been planning for years to take this big trip to New Zealand because we're Lord of the Rings fans, and my son loves penguins. So we kind of grouped those together. And so on the beach in New Zealand, that's probably the most awesome place.
Oh, that's
Gorgeous
awesome.
country. It's mountains and shore. And that's it. Mountain in the middle, shore on either side. Very beautiful though.
Oh, that is fantastic. I am convinced that the Lord of the Rings movies were co-sponsored by the Ministry of Tourism at New Zealand. It was so beautiful. I was funny enough you mentioned that. I watched Fellowship of the Rings the other day just because I wanted to do a marathon, and the landscapes are so gorgeous down there. Just uh, God country, if there ever was a God's country. That's it. A
Absolutely.
little different than DC and Philly, though.
Yeah, we have one sheep for every 100 humans versus, one human for every 16 sheep. Yeah.
That is true. So how does Tai Chi help you in the humdrum and the change in a very dynamic world that you live in DC, where things for us are we're just getting the ripples of it. You're where the rock actually drops. How does that help?
Honestly, I have to turn off the radio to do my Tai Chi, and that's you just cancel it out. No, it's there and it informs everything we do. And so how do we live in this current state of society. And Tai Chi really helps with that, because I need to calm myself. There are so many things being thrown at us. Stress about this, fear about that. Who's attacking? you know,
Mm,
and it's everything seems blown out of proportion when you're here. And I don't know if that's true. I'd like to talk to people in Wyoming or my aunt and uncle in Texas to see if they have that same sense. But we're very fear-based, I think, right
yeah.
now. And Tai Chi really helps us to see the Tao, as you were talking about a few moments ago. We're all on this ride, and what's meant to happen is going to happen. And when we just move within that space, the fear kind of goes away, and you have an understanding that we don't need to be afraid of it. It's
Right.
not that the fear, it's not that what causes us fear goes away. It's the understanding that we're strong and we can handle that and we can flow within that. And it just kind of changes the context and our understanding of it. So I have an appreciation for what people are experiencing, but I really want them to just see that we don't have to perceive it that way. It doesn't
Right.
have to control us. We still control our own destiny. And Tai Chi is my way to express that.
Yeah, when you're rooting and taking your steps and going to the next move, yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know if I could have put that in a more succinct way. That's why I bring you guys on for content and to make it
Well,
look
we're
like I
fellow
hang.
writers, so
So yes, I agree with you. I think fear has been a big part of American culture and really global culture because of that. Probably for the better part of the last 20 years. Really, since 9/11, I want to say. Uh,
yeah.
and how do you or how does one, because you've got this, you're ready to rock, you're the bodhisattva, as it were, coming back from nirvana to help out the us lowly folks here back in regular
Which is why
reality.
you're my teacher, but okay. Keep going. Keep going.
That's all behind the scenes stuff. That's for the paying customers. So so my question is, how does one manage fear? And how does Tai Chi then help you, more specifically, managing fear, not just in trying times, but in general? Because like you said, there's even in the best of times, there's always something to worry about, right? So how do we manage that? And how does Tai Chi help us to manage it?
Well, it goes back to what Margaret said about taking a breath. And I think that if we can stop for a moment and just focus internally, and it it allows us to discover our own strength, and that we really have this grounding, this foundation. If we have our health, we have everything, right? That old expression. And Tai Chi is the essence of stress management, of building the immune system, building our strength. And if we use Tai Chi, we can discover that we have that strength, that we have that grounding, that we have the ability to slow down the breath and find this control, find this space that we can welcome our health and welcome our good thoughts and bring others in to our space. And that dispels the fear, because once we have that understanding of our own strength and our own control and slowing down the breathing, and that's what Tai Chi, I first got into martial arts because I thought it'd be really cool. Um, but one of my first teachers told me every great martial artist learns Tai Chi first. And I said, well, why would they do that? Because you slow down, you learn control, you learn balance, and not just physical balance, balance of thought, balance of emotion, and control of both of those as well. And so if we take Tai Chi and slow down, we discover that what's out there and what's frenetic and what's coming at us can be put aside for that moment. And that moment, that one moment of flow, that Margaret was talking about earlier, that that slowly permeates everything. And so if you practice once, it's just here inside. And then over time, it expands out and out. And slowly you can bring that control and that balance and have it encompass you in your life out there and other things, so that that fear coming in is dispelled. You've got that bumper again, that little protection.
So can one expand that bumper out then to encapsulate other people?
Oh, absolutely. Although, my students, when I was an English teacher, my students used to come in the room. They're like, "How do you do that? You're so calm and patient." But and it didn't work for all students. But some students would just come in and they would, they'd feel that calm. So I think that we can extend that feeling out and allow. It's who we welcome in, but really we want to welcome in everybody. Tai Chi is so inviting, and it's open to every people of every faith, people of every background. It's welcoming and inviting. And so as we practice it, we welcome in more people. And as those people come into our presence, we can kind of share that. And that's what I love about teaching. Teaching Tai Chi is just share the calm, be patient, be in the moment. It's okay. And even if it's just for 5 minutes or 5 seconds, it'll grow. And we want to welcome that. And using this online program for the vets, oh my gosh, that's such an amazing opportunity to welcome them in to the calm space and to push the worry away. So.
Absolutely. Now, you're going to be creating a calm space for our vets in what, about an hour's time?
Yes,
Yeah.
at noon. Yeah.
So what? Noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find that link at Facebook on Tai Chi with Veterans, where you find the GCast as well. So what's class like with Maureen and her veterans?
Calm music. I know you've got Funky Friday, which is awesome. And DDR's got his fun stuff too. But I love the calm, soothing Tai Chi music, Reiki music, frequency music that is intended to just resonate with ourselves, resonate with the heart. And so I really want a calm space, keeping emotions calm, but it's also a great workout. I really like to build in balance and leg work and strength. And I always tell people I kind of sneak a workout in on you. So it's very slow and flowing, but I hope that there's some by the end of it that people say, "Wow, that was invigorating as well." It was soothing but invigorating. If you can have those two, it's kind of a dichotomy, but you've got your yin and yang. That's
Absolutely.
That's the whole Tai Chi thing. So
absolutely. And just as a secret, I use traditional music in most of my classes.
okay.
Funky Flow Friday is its own little beast.
Yeah. Well, it's fun though. It's very cool. Great change.
Cool. So in your class, you're not just imparting moves. What else are you secretly sneaking in to everyone's day when they take a class with you?
Yeah. I'd like to say chocolate, but
Ooh,
but,
get to that.
but really, a sense of calm is probably the most important thing for me. But I started teaching Tai Chi to give people a sense of physical balance. So not just the mental, emotional balance, which are huge. And I always like to bring the brain work in too, and have people thinking, because that's, a lot of Alzheimer's, people with Alzheimer's and dementia, any traumatic brain injury. Tai Chi is so beneficial for that because we are working our minds as we work our bodies in these different spatial areas. But I want people to learn balance physically as well. So I want to bring them into the space and have them be grounded and feel themselves in their feet. And what is that? We're so often up and forward, and I just want to bring people down and almost not cave in, but feel that central place, that central core that they have. And then once they have that strength in the core, that can also be expanded out. So when they leave, I'd like them to have a sense of calm for sure, and just a sense of grounding and balance. And patience, maybe. We've got homeschooling going on and quarantine going on, and everyone's like up to here with each other. Not us, of course. We're very happy.
We have more jurisprudence than the people that we let into our lives. Have you had that in the quarantine where you said, well, I'm glad I like the people that I live with?
Not everybody does, but after the class, they can go out and it's okay. Because they can remember that moment of calm and that moment of patience, and they can let that just dissipate into whatever stress might be coming at them. Yeah, after every class, I go upstairs and I've got classwork or lunch to make or something, things to help with, which is great because I found that patience, that calm place. So it's I can handle that.
So you suggest that starting one's day off with a little Tai Chi is probably the best way to start one's day.
Oh, for sure. Well, I like it throughout the day, to be honest with you. A little bit in the beginning, you get a little stressed and worked up, have your 5-minute flow, after lunch, instead of lunch, and then before bed. Because if you're not breathing deeply, you're not going to sleep well.
Right.
And also you're not digesting your food, interestingly. So if you have your 5 minutes of flow before you eat something, you're calming your digestion, you're putting yourself in your parasympathetic, and everything just works better. You sleep better, you process, you're nourished better in a lot of different ways. So yeah, start the day. If you've only got one time slot, start your day with calm. But if you can sneak in 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, it's really good to have it flow throughout the day, because then you are able to flow throughout the day a little bit better. So yeah.
And it's funny you say that. I remember when I was still working in industry, for my lunch breaks, I would sneak off into this floor that was not finished yet, but it was nice enough that you could sort of see out into the city. And I would practice Tai Chi for lunch as opposed to just going to Jimmy John's and shoving a hoagie down my face. When you were a newer player, when you were coming to martial arts because it was cool, tell us a fun story of you practicing somewhere probably inappropriate, like the aisle at Target or something. Not that I ever did that.
One of my students told me, and I used to do this. Just grab the shopping cart and you do the catwalk. You do your Tai Chi walk with the shopping cart down. You just have to make sure no one's in the aisle, because you'll run into them going corner to corner. But no, see, it's interesting because when I first started, I was a proofreader, English teacher. I'm a grammarian, and I'm like, your comma goes here. There's no messing around. Grammar's grammar, right? And I took that same idea to Tai Chi. Everything had to be perfect. And even one of my masters would come up and he'd arrange me so that I was right. So I always had this idea of right, that there was a right way to do it. And I'd have that perfectionism idea with me. So I'd practice in the hallway in my house. I'd close my eyes and I'd walk down the hallway until I wouldn't bump into walls anymore. Because I guess that's a crazy thing I did.
That's like Hollywood right there.
It was
see you blindfolded with torches on wooden pylons, trying to keep your balance and not set yourself on fire.
That's right. When you stop catching yourself on fire, you've taken the next step up. Totally.
That's a lesson you have to learn quickly.
Yeah, right.
Or you end up being the lesson for everyone else.
Exactly. But Tai Chi Fit, if I can just add, Tai Chi Fit's so awesome because it taught me to throw that correctness away.
Yeah.
And just let go. And gosh, that's so liberating. Yeah, let your hair down. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It is liberating. You're absolutely right. Tell us more about that. That
Um,
no critique, no pressure.
well, thanks. Well, with having to learn a form, so I got my I got my black belt in the Chen style when I
Mm.
was 6 months pregnant.
Oh,
And so that was fun to jump around and have a center of gravity that wasn't quite my center of gravity. And then, but to know that I needed to get it right. And it was
mhm.
a long form. And to have these little forms that I categorized that I had learned over the years. And and then, well, if I want to teach my students the Japanese form, this is what we were doing. This is how we learned it. And this was how our balance was and where we went, which is different from the 24 forms, which is different from the Chen. And I'd pocket myself and I'd pocket my classes. But with Tai Chi Fit, it all blends together.
Mhm.
I can throw in mixing hands from one form with maybe a gorilla fist from Chen, or the Yang is my favorite because I know it the best. But just blending them all, which is what you did at your last class, which was not about you. But anyway, it's so fun. No, it's so liberating. Plus, there's nothing you have to memorize. People can come into class now and they're not, oh, I missed last week. What did I miss? Did I miss something big? It was always, what did I miss? Or, oh, can you help me catch up? And then people would stay after, show me that again. There's none of that. It's just doing the move and doing it for you as it feels right to you. And really, Tai Chi is about, I almost said ingesting. It's not. It's bringing it in. It's owning it.
Yeah.
So whatever Tai Chi is for me is going to be different from Marcus and Margaret and everybody else. And you have to just make it your own. And the best way to do that, I think, is to have Tai Chi Fit, where there are no rules. There's no, get your elbow up and your hand like this type of thing. And it's
Yep.
just very nice that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic. And we can kill this infomercial right here.
Tai Chi
We have
Fit,
to get.
the way to go.
That's right. TaiChiFit.net. Come join us. Uh, so the real question, the deepest question that I have for you, the one that everyone's been waiting for. Let's talk chocolate.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Stress relief, man. Chocolate studies, it's got polyphenols, which are shown to open the heart. And Tai Chi Fit is about opening the heart and connecting. And chocolate just fits right in there with that. So it's a stress management tactic, really. Everybody, almost everybody loves chocolate. I've learned not everybody loves chocolate, but um, chocolate's not, it's not high in caffeine. It has other things that help open you up. So what I use it for, though, it's a comfort food. But when you go out to the store, you have chocolate that's not even really chocolate. It's got chemicals in it and it's got sugar in it, which is inflammatory. And it's opposite of what we want to do with Tai Chi.
Mhm.
And making chocolates, I started making them for cancer patients. And I also wanted to do Tai Chi for cancer patients because both of those calm us. They support the immune system. They open the heart. And chocolate's just an inviting way to bring people in and to make connections. And I had a plate. I was going to show you my chocolate. I must have left it upstairs. But I did. I have a plate of chocolate to entice everybody. But I'll
Well,
mail you some.
of live streams in the quarantine era, because you can go and get your chocolates. I'm gonna go and get my laundry, and then we'll come back. They can just look at a blank screen and wonder what the heck is going on for 10 minutes.
Right, right. It's all good though. Go with the flow, right? If you see a blank screen, just start moving. It's
That's
all good.
right. That's
Yeah.
it. Sounds like a time for a chi break. That's what it sounds like. All right, Margaret, you are amazing as always. Always a pleasure to talk to you. We have to have you back on the G-Cast later on. Uh,
Sounds
So
great.
you're drafted, you're conscripted. You must come back with bearing gifts, no less. Because
I'll mail them to you ahead of time, and then we can eat them at the same time.
that is a really good idea. And I
Okay.
am trying to get Rosie to put your chocolates on the Tai Chi Fit store.
Oh, really?
I am. You don't know this, but you just stick with me, kid. We're going places. We're going
Sounds
places.
awesome. Sounds awesome.
Tell everyone where they can find you,
Well, chocolate and cheese.
which is the
I'm,
most amazing name ever.
well, you got to find your calm, and you can find it in your chocolate, you can find it in your Tai Chi. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Chocolate and Chi, and chocolateandchi.com. You'll find me. The landing page, it goes to Move Well Eat Better, which just because being healthy doesn't have to be hard. You can have chocolate and Tai Chi and all sorts of things to help you feel great. And YouTube is also Chocolate and Chi.
Uh, I can't tell you. I was so jealous when Margaret Maureen put out on Facebook in the Tai Chi Fit stream her idea of chocolate and chi, and I was blown away. It was such a genius model, especially for you. It encapsulates you, not to put borders around you, but it encapsulates sort of the feeling of what you bring to the table. And I thought it was genius. I think I jumped right on and gave you a yes, do that. That was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you very much.
I try. When I see moments of genius, I like to cultivate them, and you didn't need any help from me. You had already done the hard work. Thank you so much for joining us, Margaret. Margaret.
Maureen, call me Mo.
Maureen, I'm so
Mo
sorry.
is so
Oh my
Mo is
God.
so much easier. See, you put the two M's on the same day.
I
You
did.
got to mix
That
it
was
up.
a mistake.
But
And I
Mo,
am getting over a fever right now, so there's that. We'll blame it that. I don't know. It hit me yesterday. I came in after practice, and I was wearing February PJs by the time the day was over. I was just
right. Oh
so
no.
I'm a little
Well,
better now.
okay. Take your vitamin C,
Yep, doing it.
medicinal tea.
Maybe clear my schedule for the rest of the afternoon. I'm sure nobody will be upset about that.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that. That ain't happening.
That's exactly right. All right, we're gonna have you back at the Cheecast, Maureen. Not even a question. Maybe even make you co-host because
Huh?
you're much more delightful than I am.
I'm there. No, we'd have to tag team it. That's the only way.
That's the way to do it.
Marcus and Mo.
There you go. Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right, have a great, wonderful day. Good luck in class. If
Thank
I
you.
get a chance,
It's been an hour.
I might even sneak in.
That would be awesome.
If
All
I
right.
get my setup going. All right. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. See you, Marcus.
All
Be
right,
well.
Maureen. Be good. Be safe. Take care.
Bye, everybody. See you soon. Take care.
All right. That was Maureen Vuzic down there in the DC area here for Tai Chi Fit International and the Chi-Cast. I had the pleasure of meeting Maureen in the SCW fitness conference while DDR and I were down in DC, and she was awesome. She hung out with us all morning and helped man the table and talk with people and promote not just Tai Chi Fit, but the veterans program, the benefits of Tai Chi, just the whole nine. And she's a wealth of information, a ton of experience when it comes to traditional Tai Chi, and it just really took to the Tai Chi Fit model and puts on a great class. I've had the opportunity to flow with both of our guests today, with Margaret and with Maureen, and in both cases, you're able to just experience that flow. And I'll be honest, in both in the cases of both, when I was with Margaret, I was brand new to Tai Chi Fit, and so I had played around with it, but I had played around with it in a way that was in many ways egotistical, trying to prove that I could do this thing. And the way Margaret moved and what she cultivated was the idea of not caring and the idea of just letting go, because there was just no way of keeping up with her, because everything, while embodying Taiji Fit, everything was different in the sense that nothing repeated from the prior class. And she was able to really build that momentum, that like reading a good slow burn novel. It's just sort of built, and then all of a sudden you're at this great climax and it's wonderful. And with Maureen, when she auditioned to be a part of the national teams, now we're going a little bit further into the future, which is now our past. I had done something to the extent of about 15 auditions over the course of 2 days, and they were just back to 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 back. And she was the last audition that I would do in this initial set to find our first team of online national instructors. And that could have been disastrous. It could have absolutely been disastrous. And then she took me on this journey where I am tired. And it didn't help that the person who I had auditioned prior to took me through the ringer. Like, I was beat. So it was already, the end of the day on a Friday. It's late night. I'm tired naturally. Now I'm fatigued from the audition before. And this could have been an absolute throwaway with Maureen, and it was not. It was such a pleasure. She read the crowd, which was just me, but she played in such a way that my fatigue, I could let it go and just flow. The imagery was wonderful. The flow was wonderful. The ambiance was wonderful. There was even a couple of hiccups that go down, not from her, but because we're doing this in our homes, just like we've seen with a lot of the broadcasts and streams and things going on in national news and other programs where cats show up, kids show up, things just happen, power goes out, and so there were these very cute sort of moments that went on in that audition. And she added them right into the class, right into them, and it was awesome. It was this no pressure, no critique, no worries, just flow. And that is what our Taiji Fit instructors are producing out there, and making the world a better place, one movement at a time. And that's it. Not the class, not the push. One movement at a time, one breath at a time. That's the way to live your best life. And that's what we bring at Taiji Fit. So I'm going to close out our Chi-Cast today. Remember, you can find me, Marcus Julian Carbo, at taijifit.net, online, Taiji Fit International for Facebook. And then you can find me and hang out and play with me, Tai Chi with Marcus, Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon if you want to help out some of our online programs and our veterans initiatives outside of Tai Chi for Veterans. And as well, look for the flow shows. Go to Tai Chi Fit International. Don't take my word for it. Go hang out with some of our instructors and their flows. And you can find all of our national team on Tai Chi with Veterans. Their links are in their events on their calendar pages. Go hang out with them. Go flow for yourself. And once you do, you'll want to support the programs. You'll want to sign up, whether it's to learn the love and joy of Tai Chi through our Flow subscription, or if you want to become an instructor and share the love with the rest of the world, just like we are. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning in my less than energetic state as I'm trying to shake whatever it is that I've picked up. I love you all. I will see you on Monday. We'll be off tomorrow, but then next week we'll pick back up on Monday with brand new guests, brand new topics and another week of the Cheatcast. So until then, I wish you health, happiness, and harmony. Till I see you again, stay home, stay safe, and take care.